Hey baddies, get ready with me while I tell you how I got in a fight. Okay, disclaimer, this was last year in 2024. So it's gonna be like 2 years ago this year. But there's no beef, it's over, it's done. Don't really care about it anymore, but I just decided I want to make a story time about it for content. Okay, I already primed my face, so let's get started. Okay, so basically this was summer of 2024. I'm pretty sure it was the summer before freshman year. Yeah, I think it was the summer before freshman year. Okay, so basically my boyfriend had this ex and they had dated in like 7th grade, and she had moved to Texas, and so basically she had been living there. But over summer, we were on the phone and he got a text that said like, she was like, hey, I know it's been a while, but I miss you, and blah 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 blah. So I was like, oh hell no. So basically I texted my friend when he had told me that she texted him. I had told my friend ended up texting her and was like, what the fuck, like, you're weird. And I don't remember what she texted back, but after a while I had texted her, well, the same day, but I had ended up texting her and I was like, you're weird as fuck. And sorry guys, it's kind of hard to talk and do my makeup, but I was like, you're weird as fuck. And I don't even remember what she said, it was so long ago. But basically she had said something, because her friends are here, so sometimes she comes to visit, and she had said when she comes down here, like, we could fade or whatever. So I was like, okay then. So yeah, I was like, okay. And she had ended up telling my friend that it was her birthday and it was like a drinking game or something, and that was true. Like, she sent the screenshot and everything, but she had texted all her exes, but my boyfriend was the only one where she sent a long ass paragraph. So I found that weird and I was like, what the fuck. So then later on, I think it was in like August, I had saw someone post that she was here. So I had texted her, or me and my friend we were like calling her off a different number, and we basically were pressing her, and I had ended up just texting her off my real number because she wasn't answering the phone. And I basically just said like, you're here, so like, what's up? She switched up real fast. She was like, I'm not gonna fight no ghetto bitch, da 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 da. Yeah, she was just saying that she wasn't gonna fight no ghetto bitch and that I'm second tier. Like, excuse you, what the fuck you talking about? And she was basically saying that she was like, your boyfriend was in love with me, da 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 da, and I promise you he was not in love with you, baby. And I don't want it to seem like I was fighting over a guy. I mean, I was, but I wasn't even gonna like ask to fight or anything. She was the one who brought it up, so obviously I'm not gonna fucking back down. And especially if you did something that bothered me, then like, we could go through with it. So after she said she wasn't gonna fight no ghetto bitch or whatever, I ended up just leaving it at that. And yeah, so then it hit October, and me and my friend also had problems with her as well because of her own thing, but we had texted her off a text now number, and she ended up finding out who it was. I mean, we're making it kind of obvious, but originally my friend was gonna fight her, but she was being rude as fuck. Like, her and her friends are being rude as fuck, and they were calling my friend fat and da 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 da, and she's not gonna fight a, like, whatever she said. Like, they're just being rude and stupid. So I was like, oh hell no. And it switched over to me gonna fight her, and like, there was a whole group chat and everything, and her and her friends were just talking shit. They were being rude as fuck to my friends. The girl, again, said she was not gonna fight a ghetto bitch. And then, I don't know, I guess she had a change of heart. And then all of a sudden, she wanted to fight. So I was like, okay. So on Wednesdays after school, I go eat. And I go with my boyfriend, and his friends usually go. So she was texting the group chat, and I was waiting for her somewhere else, but she ended up not coming. And then after I had already left, because I wasn't gonna wait on her, after I had already left, she texted me. She was like, "Where you at?" Like, she was calling me pussy, da 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 da, and just talking a whole bunch of shit. And I was like, "Girl, I promise you, I'm not pussy. I just had to go. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and wait for you." And yeah. So we ended up getting to the place where I eat at, and she was calling my boyfriend's brother or something. I don't really remember. They were trying to find out where I was, though. So I had called her, and I had told her if she wants to know where I'm at, then she could ask me. So in the group chat, I ended up sending my location to her, and she was taking forever. Like, literally, my mom was picking me up from the place, and literally, like, she got there at the same time my mom got there, and I was like, oh my god. So I texted my mom, and I was like, I had to pee real quick, and the girl ended up coming in, and I was waiting for her in the bathroom, because, yeah, that's where we fought at. So she had brought, like, two of her friends, and I was waiting for her in the bathroom. So as soon as she walked in the bathroom, I just got to business. I punched her, and we started fighting, and she ended up on the floor, and she was like grunting and like making noises. So I had got up, I got off of her, because I low-key started feeling bad. When I had got up, though, she wanted she wanted more, so she hit me. And then she ended up on the floor again. Like, I literally brought her to the floor again. And her friend was arguing with my boyfriend, because they said I only went because he was standing in the middle, so they didn't jump in. But literally, he didn't interfere in any fucking way. But yeah, she was arguing with my boyfriend, and yeah. Basically, I won. I told her she didn't want that, but apparently she wanted that. And I know she regretted it after. And literally after, like, I had left, obviously, because my mom was already there. And she texted the group chat, and, or maybe I texted the group chat, I don't remember. I texted the group chat, and I was like, I told you you didn't want that. And she was like, GG's. That was kind of funny, though. I'll give her that. But yeah, that's what happened. Weirdo. Still don't like her. Don't really care. Her friends are weird too. But hey, that's all old. That's old news. Yeah, that's how I got in a fight. Also, I wanted to add this. I never told the girl this one thing. I don't even know if they're friends anymore. But I forgot, because the other girl, she was saying that all my friends are fake to each other and we all talk shit about each other. But literally, the only reason I ever found out that the girl, like, wanted anything to do with my boyfriend is because she actually texted me a screenshot, and it was a picture of my boyfriend and then my friend's boyfriend, and it was like, she had said, this is what so and so said about your guys' man. Then I was like, what the hell? And it's because she had a screenshot of, like, someone's story, and she was like, my man's. I wish I told them that, but I didn't. But yeah, queens, that's it. I hope you like this story time, and bye.
A story time of what it was like being in high school. When my sister went missing, my dad was a member of a musical group that made it kind of blow up, meaning that my high school experience was really crazy and honestly felt like a movie. When my sister first went missing, it was over fall break in 2016. I was 15 years old, my sophomore year in high school. And I just kept thinking, okay, well, we'll find her by the time school starts again. Spoiler alert, we definitely didn't. Meaning that I had to go back to school in the midst of all of this. The first day I went back, legit walking through the halls felt like the movies, where everyone's just like staring at the person. It's like in slow-mo. That's literally what it felt like. Exactly. I'm like shaking telling this story. Not to mention, I was the youngest sibling of my 4 siblings who had all gone to this high school. So all of my teachers knew what was going on. I actually really did appreciate the special treatment and the kind tenderness that I felt from my teachers. But the rest of the kids my age, they had no idea what to do. In their defense, what is there to do? So the staring was actually so uncomfortable. By the time I got to just second period, I was like, okay, this sucks so bad. I feel like I'm just gonna fall over and die emotionally. And I didn't have a mom that was like very, very strict about you have to be at school, but she definitely wasn't lenient. Like I had to be at school if I could be. But I texted her and I was like, Mom, can I come home? For some reason, I was fully expecting her to be like, no, you have to stick it out. That was another moment where the severity of the situation set in because she was like, yeah, I'll be there right away. After that day, I legit didn't go back to school until the end of that term. We ended up finding my sister like a month and a half later. She had in fact passed away. And the thought of going back to school with everyone knowing this was not ideal because the Pizza Pie Cafe poster in our town had like a sign that said, pray for Annie Schmidt. Driving down the streets, there would be like signs and posters that were like, pray for Annie. And I was just not emotionally prepared enough to go back to school. However, I was on my high school drill team, so I just went to drill every day and they assigned some like counselor to bring me my homework. So I didn't just like drop out of school. I just did it from home. When I finally did go back to school in January, it was still unideal, but at least I knew what was going on and I was in my grieving process rather than like in this headspace of wondering if she was okay and what was going on. But I think one of the most frustrating things that happened was I was in seminary, and if you're not from Utah or not LDS, you don't know what that is, but it's kind of like a class, like a spiritual class where you just talk about religion and whatnot. And my seminary teacher at the time hadn't talked to me beforehand, hadn't asked me this. In the middle of class, he just started crying and was like, I'd like to ask Sarah to stand up and share her experience the past few months and how God has helped her through it. Which honestly and truthfully, I don't know that I would have minded that much if he had asked me beforehand. However, at this time in my life, I would have said no. And with the fact that I was severely depressed. So I think I got up and said like 2 sentences and sat back down. And I'm not trying to drag this teacher. People just don't know what to do when someone's grieving. But I'll tell you what, that was not a favorite moment of mine. But the thing that's interesting is people always ask me if I would have preferred no one cared and no one talked to me and no one stared and no one was concerned at all. And the next year, my family actually moved an hour away and I got to experience what both were like. At one school, people cared so deeply, and sure, every once in a while, it made me uncomfortable. But for the most part, people were radiating like care and concern. And I knew that anywhere I turned, anyone I talked to, I could pretty much get some kindness, empathy, or help. When I moved, that unfortunately was absolutely not the case. I can't blame the people in the town I moved to for not like coddling me, because that's not necessarily what I'm saying. But there were some like downright unkind people too. Yeah, I definitely would have preferred my original school over that. And I did, because my senior year, I did move back to my original school to graduate with all my friends and all my people. At the end of the day, when you're grieving or when someone you know is grieving, it's absolutely impossible to know what to do and what to say and what not to say. My honest and only advice is to just be there. Like actually be there and maybe even ask what works and what doesn't, because the other thing is everyone grieves differently. So what works for one person might not work for the other. I'm sweating so bad even telling this story. What the freak? Though my high school experience did not go the way that I thought it would, because I spent the next 3 years in complete depression, I can honestly say that I am a much better person because of what I've been through. I also deeply care about people in a way that I didn't before. I thought I did before. Granted, I was 15, maybe I would have gotten there anyways. But now I care a lot about people. And I think being nice and friendly to strangers, heavy on friendly, by the way, because being nice and friendly are 2 different things. It's important. People are important. You think someone's going through a hard time, it's probably 10 times worse than you think it is. Anyway, sorry that this is kind of a melancholy story time, but I realized I've actually never told this story. It's kind of a big part of who I am and why I do my videos and why I try to talk to you guys like people, and why I talk to people in drive-thrus and try to hype them up. Why I genuinely care about every single one of you and don't think of you just as like followers or engagement. I see you as people, real people that I'm honored to know and am honored that you are here. If you're going through a horrible time, obviously I'm gonna be spread a little bit thin, but please do reach out and I will do my best to try to be there for you. But do try me, because I really will try to get back to all of you. Thank you so much for getting ready with me. I am doing so much better, in case you're wondering. I'm gonna go do some stuff that fills my cup today, and I hope you do the same.
If you're gonna make a video about me, at least at me. Okay, so for you who don't know any of the drama between me and Esme, let me tell you right now. So yesterday, Esme made a video talking about her cousin, saying she wears a heart necklace and was wearing a black shirt in one of her videos, as well as having highlights. And she started saying how this is the cousin she hates and cannot stand. She also copied the outfit I made in that video, or like had on, So let's see if she copies this one too. Which, like she said in her video, I'm the one that likes to copy her. So it's a little strange that she's copying me. But honestly, I literally don't care because I truly think there's more people on Team Alina than there is on Team Esme. Anyways, I thought we were leaving this beef in 2025, but I guess not. So we will be bringing it into the new year. And honestly, if I really need to go to Texas and tell her something, then I will. And if you guys want to see the video, just let me know. Oh, and also for all the people who were saying, how are you going to make a video saying you can at me, but you didn't even at her? She didn't even at me. So since you guys really wanted me to, I'll at her in this caption of this video. Anyways, maybe I'll make a video with Esme soon. I really don't know, and I pray that I don't, but we'll see what happens. So if you want to keep watching and see what happens, then make sure to follow me.
I went through my boyfriend's phone and I found out something that is far worse than cheating. I'm not sure if this is gonna get censored here on TikTok because I'm gonna describe what I saw, so I'll try to use softer words. 2 nights ago, I noticed that he fell asleep and that his phone was still on. I don't know why. I think it was God telling me to do it because I had never done it, but I decided to take a peek. Like, I decided to go through it and I didn't think I was gonna find anything. But again, like when a girl goes through a guy's phone, like you think you're gonna find something. You're scared that you're gonna find him cheating. But what I found was much worse than that, I think. I found he collects videos and pictures of unalived bodies. I'm gonna use this word a lot because I can't use the actual word, but you get what I'm saying. This is also not only women, this is men too, and it's hundreds. Not talking about like 10, because in the beginning I thought, well, maybe this is just one of those things that guys send to group chats, and he just like saved it for no reason. But it's impossible because there were hundreds of these videos and pictures, and he had them all organized with different playlists, different album titles. None of it was the actual process of unaliving. These were all already unalived bodies. In the beginning, I tried to blame it on his grief because he has lost nearly his entire family, and I thought, well, maybe this is how he has been able to process it because everybody deals with grief differently. But what made me realize that this was not the case was because a lot of these titles, like the album titles, the playlist titles, and some of the pictures too, they had very explicit undertones, if you know what I mean. Like, they had sexual undertones. And I also found out that he had 2 bookmarked pages, and the both of them had stories with pictures. And again, they had romantic intent and explicit intent behind these stories, all of unalived people. I'm struggling to remember everything that I saw because, again, it was so much. I do remember one title in specific, which was unalived, obviously not this word, hotties. He has never been violent to me, like at all, even the slightest bit. He's like the most calm guy ever. I've never seen him being violent with anybody else. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is probably not a relatable situation, so me coming on here to ask for advice on how to confront him about this, how do I approach this in the best way?
These are things I did when I was a low-level pick-me. These are so horrifying to me now, but I'm coming to terms with it. Whenever I was bored, I would make one of my friends take a picture of me and post it on her Snapchat story with a poll with like a thumbs up or thumbs down, and I would have her put the question, can she pull you? So then all the guys on her story would vote like yes or no if I could pull them or not. Or they just wouldn't vote, because obviously that's such a weird thing to post on your story. But I would make my friend take so many different pictures of me for this story post. Like, it could take us a solid hour to get a picture of me that I wanted her to post. Because obviously in my head I was like, if I look super good in this photo, then everyone's gonna vote yes. So I would be like very obviously trying to look really good in these photos that my friend was posting on her story. Which just made it all the more embarrassing. Like, I really wanted to look good in these photos. Because, you know, if I look really good, maybe someone will ask me out. And it gets even better. I had a crush on this one guy at the time, and on one of the first polls I made her post, he voted no, I couldn't pull him. And I got so mad that I had my friend text him on Snapchat and ask why he voted no. Literally, how desperate could you be? And when he answered, obviously he didn't know what to say because that's such a weird thing to say and do and ask. All of this is just so weird. But I would be telling my friend what to text him, like, while sitting next to her. And so I would be arguing with this guy through my friend about how he shouldn't have voted no. And I wish I could say this only happened once. It did not. My friend was such a real one for this, but over the course of a year, I probably had her post that same poll like 4 times. And did I ever get the validation I was looking for out of it? Probably not, but like rightfully so, not. My attention seeking did not get much worse than that, but it was definitely a phase. Let me know if you want more stories because I definitely have a lot.